it's New Coffee Day today. So I'll be dialing in this coffee from Sweden. It's an advanced natural ombligo, a Colombian coffee which only grows in this region of Huila in Colombia, in the southwest part of the country. It's a relatively unknown variety of Arabica, but it's becoming quite popular. I mean, of course, because of its flavor, but also because it is quite resistant to disease. Ombligo in Spanish means belly button, and it's called that because of the distinct shape of the cherry. Now, it's a fruit forward bean. So the flavors that we would expect according to this are passion fruit, eucalyptus, and cherry cola. So let's see what we get. So I'm going to start with 18 grams of coffee. So I've started off with the position of just past 3, and my bird touch is just beyond the 0. So this is a slightly denser bean, which means that I'm going to have to use 18 grams and not underdose it. Okay, WDT. Filter paper on top, and the puck screen. Okay, so we're going to start off with the paddle in the fully open position because we want the water to flow in quickly and fill up the headspace. Okay. Okay, and stop at true bar pre-infusion for about 10 seconds and then open it up. So the pressure has gone up to 7 bar and is falling. The flow rate is roughly about 2.5 grams per second. I have got 47.3 grams in roughly about 35 odd seconds. Okay, that's what it looks like. Oh wow, this is incredibly fruity and complex. I mean, I pretty much. So we got a TDS of 8.57, and with the brew ratio of 1 to 2.6, this equates to an extraction of 22.51%, which is pretty good. Can we tweak this any further? I don't think so. I think that's pretty much the best that we can get. I don't want to. So the coffee was excellent, but I'm a bit disappointed that I've not been able to show you the steps, my thinking, how I adjust the different variables. But I still think it would be helpful to talk about the things that you need to consider when dialing a coffee. So the first thing is the dose. So I always use 18 grams because it's quite forgiving. You also need to think about the type of coffee that you're using. So this one was a Colombian coffee, high grown, dense, light roast. Because it's so dense, it means that you can't really underdose the basket. So I've used 18 grams in an 18 gram basket. The next important thing is puck prep. I've got another video about puck prep, which you can have a look at. Puck prep is really important. WDT, WDT, WDT. And that's going to make sure that your puck is uniform and that the water flows through it evenly and it extracts evenly. Always use a puck screen, and you can use a filter paper and put a puck screen on top, which means that it stops the water from interacting with the surface layer of the puck. This is really important if you're using a machine like this, a non-lever machine. The next thing you need to think of is what temperature you're going to use. Now, when I first started my journey with light roast, I was told that you need really high temperatures, 95, 96 degrees. That's complete rubbish. You don't really need high temperatures. What tends to happen when you use high temperatures is that it extracts all the unpleasant elements. So I never go beyond 93 degrees. Now, if you can use a flow control machine, that's great. You can get the best out of the coffee. But if you don't, it still doesn't really matter. Make sure that you're not exceeding beyond 6 to 7 bar. And if you are using a Lelit Bianca, a flow control machine like this, there are certain things that you need to consider. I always start with the paddle in a fully open position because you want the water to come in very quickly, fill in the headspace really, really quickly, which minimizes the amount of time that the water has to interact with the surface of the puck before it reaches pressure. How much pressure do you need for pre-infusion? It varies, and I've experimented with different pressures over time, but nowadays I more or less stick to 2 bar. I've not really noticed a huge difference with higher pressures. How long do you need to pre-infuse for? Again, the longer you pre-infuse, the more kind of looser the puck becomes, so it becomes easier for the water to flow through quickly. I always start with 10 seconds and then adjust depending upon how quickly the coffee is flowing out. So after pre-infusion, turn the paddle very, very slowly. I don't open the paddler fully. I'm only aiming for a flow rate of between 2 to 3 ml per second. And what I'm hoping to get is an output of about between 2 to 3 ml per second. So in this video, the paddle, I turned it to about this position, which equates to a water debit of 3 ml per second. How long do you extract for? So I start off aiming for a brew ratio of 1 to 2.5. Especially with this grinder, with the 078S, I find that the best extractions are at this brew ratio or higher. If I was using another grinder, like the Cafetech, then it is a bit more forgiving in the sense that you can get tasty coffee at lower brew ratios. So that's all, and I'm hoping that the next time I dial in, it might be a little bit more trickier, so I can go through the different steps with you all.